Shalom, and welcome to Grim Survival. This is going to be my not on the Sabbath reading. I want to do 2 of these videos a week, I really do. And I pray for time to do so, I really do. For those who've seen my walking video recently, this is where I stopped to take a break. I'm still sitting here, obviously, to record the reading. We left off at Genesis 12, if I remember correctly. It was 12? Yeah, it was 12. So we went into the genealogy from Noah leading to Abram, who will later be Abraham. And yeah, I know that sun's right there. I'm going to try not to make this insane. I got to kind of turn this thing because it's really off balance and trying to fall. Alright, y'all. Hang on. The ground is uneven. The phone is uneven. If y'all fall over, sorry. For those of you who question if I wear this hat in public, I always get a lot of weird looks wearing this hat around here. You would think I was a Texan or something. I'm not. I live there, but I'm not from there. Alright, I'm recording with this microphone today, so this will be a little different than my normal recordings, but at least you'll have decent sound quality throughout, because I think it cuts out a lot of the background noise. So if the wind blows really hard, it might be harder to hear me. I'm not going to go too far today, just because I don't have a lot of time to sit here. And yeah, I'm sitting under a maple tree in a wooded area. There's a path on either side of me, and this is the nature park that I visit from time to time. Very nice, beautiful day out here. I just wish I had the ability to read the word in a place like this every time I read it. I guess I shouldn't say the ability, because I have the ability. It's the means to do so. The gas to drive here, the time to get here. Yeah. Alright, so Genesis chapter 12. And Yahweh said to Abram, "Go yourself out of your land, from your relatives and from your father's house, to a land which I show you. And I shall make you a great nation, and bless you, and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I shall bless those who bless you, and curse him who curses you. And in you all the clans of the earth shall be blessed." So Abram left, as Yahweh had commanded him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, Lot his brother's son, his nephew, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the beings whom they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan, and Abram passed through the land to a place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree of Moek. He went as far as the terebinth tree of Moek, or Morah. At that time the Canaanites were in the land. And Yahweh appeared to Abram and said, "To your seed I give this land." And he built there a slaughter place to Yahweh, who had appeared to him. And from there he moved to the mountains east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. It's spelled AI, so I said sorry. And Ai on the east. And he built there a slaughter place to Yahweh, and called on the name of Yahweh. And Abram set out, continuing toward the south. and a scarcity of food came to be in the land. How many is that? Two? Two scarcities of food already? And a scarcity of food came to be in the land, and Abram went down to Mitzrayim to sojourn there. For the scarcity of food was severe in the land. And it came to be when he was close to entering Mitzrayim, that he said to Sarai his wife, See, I know that you are a beautiful woman to look at. And it shall be when the Mitzrayites see you that they shall say, This is his wife, and they shall kill me, but let you live. There is a jet flying over my head. I'd prefer the chickens that Bear Independent has to deal with when he's reading this book. I would really prefer the chickens over the jets, I tell you. All right, I'm in 12:12. And it shall be when the Mitzrayites see you, they shall say, This is my wife, or this is his wife, and they shall kill me, but let you live. Please say that you are my sister, so that it shall be well with me for your sake, and my life be spared because of you. So Abram was afraid that they would kill him and take his wife because of his wife, so he told her to say that certain thing so they wouldn't kill him. And Mitzrayim is modernly translated as Egypt, by the way. And it came to be when Abram came into Mitzrayim that the Mitzrayites saw the woman, and she was very beautiful. And Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house, and he treated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and cattle and male donkeys and male and female servants and female donkeys and camels. But Yahweh plagued Pharaoh of his house with great plagues because of Sarai. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, What is this you have done to me? Why did you not inform me that she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister? And so I was going to take her for my wife. Look, here is your wife. Take her and go. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. Pharaoh wasn't happy, huh? I mean, maybe this little tree's going to grow just a little stronger in this wilderness because of the reading that I'm doing next to it, right? So I probably shouldn't break it out of my way, because that's what I was about to do. Genesis 13. And Abram went up from Mitzrayim to the south, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him. And Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. He went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the slaughter place which he had made there at first. And there Abram called on the name of Yahweh. Now Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great. So they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen. The herdsmen. It's broken up here, I'm sorry. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. And at the time, the Canaanites and the Pezerites dwelt in the land. And Abram said to Lot, Let there be no strife between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. It is not all the land before you. Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I will go right, or if you go right, then I will go left. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw all the plain of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Mitzrayim, as you go toward Tassar. Interesting. So Lot chose for himself all the plain of the Jordan, and Lot moved east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram dwelling in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelling in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent as far south as Sodom. But the men of Sodom were evil and sinned before Yahweh, exceedingly so. Does that sound familiar? And after Lot had separated from him, Yahweh said to Abram, Now lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see I shall give to you, and your seed forever. And I shall make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if man could count the dust of the earth, then your seed also could be counted. Arise, walk in the land, though it is through its length and its width, for I give to you. So Abram moved his tent and went and dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre. I'm going to say Mamre, which are in Hebron, and built a slaughter place there to Yahweh. I'm going to go one more. And it came, this is Genesis 14 now. And it came to be in the days of Afriel, sovereign of Shinar, Arok, sovereign of Elasar, Kedulamer, sovereign of Elaim, and Tidal, sovereign of Goyim. Sovereigns are essentially kings. That they fought against Bera, sovereign of Sodom, Berisha, sovereign of Amorah, Shinab, sovereign of Admah, Shemeber, sovereign of Chesoboim, and the sovereign of Bela and Tosar, all joined together in the valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served Kedar Omer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. Rebellion in the land. Something to think on there. And in the 14th year, Kedar and the sovereigns that were with him came and struck the Rephaim in Asher Taroth, Quainaman, and Zuzim, I guess, in Ham, and in Emites, in the Shawa, Kurayim, whatever, and the Horites in their mountains of Seir as far as El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they took back and came to Mishpat, whatever, that is Kadesh, and struck all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites who dwelt in Hatzalton Tamar, and the sovereign of Sodom, and the sovereign of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the sovereign of Admah, and the sovereign of Tetzoboim, and the sovereign of Bela, and that is Tassar, went out and joined together in battle in the valley of Siddim against Kedolah al-Umar, sovereign of Elam, and Tidal, sovereign of Boyam, and Aphraphel, sovereign of Shinar. There's people. Sodom, where was I? Sovereign of Shamar, right? That's where I was at. This is like, yeah. And Oyak, sovereign of Elasar, 4 sovereigns against 5. 4 kings against 5 kings, basically. In the valley of Siddim had many tar pits. Tar pits are not good. I lost my place. I had an itch and I lost my place. Where was I? Tar pits, right? And the sovereign, okay, I'm at 1410. And the valley of Siddim had many tar pits, and the sovereigns of Sodom and Amorah fled and fell there, and the remainder fled to the mountains. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Amorah and all their food, and went away. Sodom and Gomorrah, basically, is the modern translation. 14:12. And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, Abram's nephew, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and left. They kidnapped Lot and took all his stuff and left. And one who had escaped came and informed Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre, the Amorite brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and they had a covenant with Abram. Squirrels are throwing things at me. Let's try that again. And one had escaped and came and informed Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt by the terebinth trees in Mamre, and the Amorite brother of Eshcol and brother of Anar, and they had a covenant with Abram. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his 318 trained servants who were born in his own house, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. Let's just take a second there. He armed all of his trained servants that dwelt in his house. Is everyone who dwells in your house trained? Had to add the prepper thing there, didn't I? 15. And he and his servants divided against them by night, and struck them, and pursued them as far as Hobath, which is on the left of Damascus. So they split. They split and engaged. I mean, you can find these tactics in Sun Tzu, right? So he brought back all the goods, and also brought back his brother Lot and his goods, as well as the women and people. And after his return from the striking of Kedor Omar, I'll never say that word properly, and the sovereigns who were with him, the sovereign of Sodom came out to meet him at the valley of Shawah, that is, the sovereign's valley. And Melchizedek, sovereign of Shalem, brought out bread and wine. Now he was the priest of the Most High El. There's a lot of talk about Melchizedek being the priest of the Most High El. And I'll let you do some research on that name, Melchizedek. 19. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High El, possessor of the heavens and the earth. And blessed be the Most High El, who has delivered your enemies into your hand, and gave him a tenth of all. And the sovereign of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people, and take the goods for yourself. But Abram said to the sovereign of Sodom, I have lifted my hand to Yahweh, the Most High El, the possessor of the heavens and the earth, not to take a thread or sandal strap or whatever is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich. So he was denying what the king wanted him to do. The king wanted him to take something so that the king would have something on him, basically, is my interpretation. 24. Except only what the young men have eaten and portioned of the men who went with me, Anar, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their portion. And I'm going to stop right there at 15. Unlike my last reading, I don't have a lot of commentary on it. I just needed to get out, be here with nature, as far off the path as I could get, which was not nearly far enough. Pray some and read some. And that's what I have done. I prayed before the reading. I will pray again after. I urge you to read your book, to make your own decisions. My decision was to follow the path laid out before me in my book. Follow the Torah. That is what I believe I am supposed to do. If you do not believe that, I am not trying to change your mind. That is what I believe, and that is my choice. I do not judge those who choose differently. It's your choice. The Jets. I prefer chickens. Alright, this has been James reading Bible study. I'm going to call it midweek, although I don't know when it'll go up. It'll go up sooner or later. I have places to be and a hike out of here. So I'll see you next time.